The mystery of the boiled one phenomenon. The moment we opened this game, we had no idea what we were stepping into. At first, it just looked like another creepy indie horror, dark menu screen, grainy music, nothing too crazy. But then the words flashed on screen, the boiled one phenomenon, and for some reason, just reading that title sent a chill straight through me. We laughed it off at first, of course. I mean, come on, the boiled one. It sounded ridiculous, like some overcooked pasta monster. But deep down, something didn't feel right. The menu didn't have the usual start options. No settings, no quit. Just one button, enter. Now here's the thing, when a game doesn't give you a way to leave, that's never a good sign. We clicked anyway, because obviously we're geniuses. And the screen went black, completely black, except for one faint sound, drip, 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 like water echoing in a cave. My heart was already racing, and we hadn't even started, but then, out of nowhere, a whisper cut through the speakers. So soft we almost didn't hear it. He's already here. That's when we froze, because it didn't sound like part of the game. It sounded too real, too close, and that was just the beginning, because what happened next, that's where everything went wrong. When the screen finally lit up, it wasn't what we expected. No tutorial, no character selection, no cheerful welcome. Instead, we were standing in this dimly lit hallway, walls peeling, floorboards creaking like the house itself was alive. At first, nothing moved, just silence, except every few seconds, that dripping sound echoed again. Drip, 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 louder now, like it was following us. We decided to move forward, one careful step at a time. And that's when the lights above us flickered, not randomly, but in rhythm, almost like a heartbeat. And with each flicker, for just a split second, we swore we saw a shape at the end of the hallway, tall, twisted, watching. I whispered, "Did you see that?" But before we could even process it, the game did something I've never seen before. It asked us a question on the screen like it was reading our minds. Do you want to keep going? Of course, like idiots, we clicked yes. And instantly, the hallway stretched longer, impossibly long, like the game was punishing us for our choice. The walls bent, the floor groaned, and that dripping noise. Now it was everywhere, surrounding us, closing in. We thought maybe, if we ran forward, we could outrun it. Big mistake. The faster we moved, the louder the whispers became. Not one voice this time, dozens, overlapping, distorted, chanting the same phrase over and over. The boiled one, and then the screen glitched. For just one horrifying frame, we saw a face, or at least something trying to be a face, skin cracked, eyes white, steam rising off it like it was still burning. We sat there frozen in silence, and just when I thought it couldn't get worse, the game spoke our name out loud. When the game said my name out loud, I swear my blood ran cold. It wasn't typed on the screen, it was spoken. Clear, direct, like someone was standing right behind me whispering it into my ear. I turned to my friend and asked, "Did you hear that?" He nodded, eyes wide. That's when we realized the game wasn't just pulling random data. It knew who we were. The screen flickered again, and suddenly, we weren't in the hallway anymore. Now we were standing in what looked like a kitchen. Rusted pots hanging, stove still burning, a thick steam filling the air. The sound of bubbling water echoed from somewhere, but we couldn't see where it was coming from. We inched forward, every step heavier than the last, until finally we saw it, a massive, blackened pot sitting on the stove. The lid rattled like something was alive inside. I remember laughing nervously, trying to play it off. Oh great, we found the world's creepiest soup. But deep down, I wanted to quit right there, because the closer we got, the more unbearable the heat became. It wasn't just the screen, it felt like the room around us was warming up. We hovered over the interact button, debating if we should open the lid, and right as we clicked it, the game froze. Dead silent, not a single sound. Then, slowly, letters began carving themselves onto the screen, like someone was scratching them in from the inside. Do not uncover him. But of course it was too late, because we had already opened the lid. The screen stayed black for a few seconds after we lifted the lid, and honestly, that silence was worse than any jump scare. My headset was dead quiet, no dripping, no whispers, just this suffocating stillness, like the game itself was holding its breath. Then hiss! Steam poured across the screen, thick and white, until a shape started forming inside it. At first, I thought it was just more glitching textures, but no, it was moving, slowly, rising out of the pot. The camera tilted on its own, forcing us to look straight at it. And that's when we saw him for the first time. The boiled one, skin swollen and blistered, water dripping from his face like melted wax. His mouth hung open, but no sound came out, only more steam, like he was still cooking from the inside. And the worst part, his eyes. They weren't glowing, they weren't demonic red, they were just empty. Lifeless, like he had been staring through that pot for centuries. I whispered, "Nope. Nope, I'm done." I even reached for the power button, but the game didn't let us leave. The quit option had vanished. The cursor was locked. We had no choice but to keep watching. The boiled one leaned closer to the screen, and as he did, the game glitched again, this time showing our own reflection faintly behind him, like a webcam feed. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it would break through my chest. And then the whispers came back. But not in the background. This time they were layered over his voice. "Join me, join me, join me." We tried to back away, but the camera wouldn't move. The boiled one reached a hand out of the pot, skin peeling, steam hissing off his fingers. And then the game crashed. At least that's what we thought. The screen went black, and for a moment we thought it was over. The boiled one had reached for us. The game had crashed, and we were free. At least that's what we wanted to believe. But then, my monitor flickered back on. Not the game, not the menu. My actual desktop. Except it wasn't normal. All my icons were gone. The wallpaper, completely replaced. Just a grainy photo of that same blackened pot, sitting on the stove, steam still rising. I leaned back in my chair, nervous laugh escaping me. Okay, that's not funny. But my friend wasn't laughing. He pointed at the screen, and that's when I noticed it. The pot in the photo wasn't empty. There was something inside it, something moving, and then my speakers crackled back to life. Drip, drip, drip. That same sound, only this time it wasn't coming from the game, it was coming from behind us. We froze in silence, not even breathing, listening to the slow, steady dripping echo through the room. I didn't want to look. Every instinct told me not to. But of course we looked anyway. Nothing was there. Just the corner of the room, shadows stretching along the wall. But when I turned back to the screen, new text had appeared, scratched in jagged white letters across my desktop. "He is in your house." My stomach dropped. I slammed the keyboard, trying to close everything, but nothing worked. The mouse wouldn't move. The keys didn't respond. And then the speakers whispered again, louder this time, a chorus of broken voices. "He's waiting in the kitchen." We sat there paralyzed, staring at each other, trying to decide if this was just some sick prank coded into the game. But before we could do anything, the lights in my real kitchen flickered. The second the kitchen lights flickered, we both jumped to our feet. My heart was hammering, every instinct screaming, "Don't go in there." But at the same time, I knew we had to. Because if we didn't check, we'd never sleep again. Step by step, we crept toward the kitchen, phone flashlights cutting through the dark. The whole place felt wrong, cold, heavy, like the air itself didn't want us there. And then that sound again. Drip, 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 louder now, right in front of us. When we finally reached the doorway, I swear my hands were shaking. We leaned in, shining the light across the room, and there it was, a pot, sitting on my actual stove. Black, burnt steam curling up from the lid. I nearly dropped my phone. No way, there's no way this is real. My friend whispered, "Don't open it." But of course, curiosity kills. Slowly, I reached out, and the second my hand touched the lid, every light in the house shut off. Total darkness. And in that darkness, just inches from my ear, a voice hissed, "You've already uncovered me." We bolted. Straight back to the room, slammed the door, shut everything down. To this day, I swear I never opened that pot. But sometimes late at night, I still hear it. That slow, steady dripping. So yeah, he's safe to say, we're never opening that game at night again.